Hello, wonderful people, viewers and subscribers all over the world. This issue of SARS is becoming something else. Honestly speaking, it's very appalling to see and witness the killing of Nigerians by Nigeria. It is no longer the issue of Boko Haram, terrorists, and the rest of them. We are no longer afraid of the kidnappers and armed robbers. Now, those who are saddled with the responsibility of the safety of the people for the protection of lives and properties are now the ones killing innocent and unarmed people. This is what has been going on, and Nigerians have been reacting.
Hey! Follow them, so they run.
Follow them,
They run.
Did I kill the boy? Save that Augele.
Save that Augele. See them.
009.
009.
For front of
Wetland
Hotel. See the
Lexus.
Now the bike get this Lexus. When they see her, see them. They don't kill the boy. The boy they road. See them.
You see this, I get saddened in my heart when I see these security operatives, molesting, manhandling, whenever they have this gun, they think that they are above the law. Okay, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but don't get it twisted. I want to say this, that despite having many bad eggs within the Nigerian police force or armed forces, you can agree with me, there are still some handful of them that are not, they are not as wild as their colleagues. But when one finger that is filthy touches the oil, it reaches everyone. Now, that is what is said in Igbo, that ofuaka roto mmanu ofezue onye ọbụla. The issue of SARS, should this be scrapped out completely, is another thing that Nigeria should consider. Or should it be amended? Now, let's think of it. You're talking about lives and safety of the people, and you come up with SARS when the kidnapping became the order of the day for brutal confrontation of armed criminals, heavily armed criminals, not these ones that somebody will go and fabricate local pistol that cannot even take up to 1 or 2 rounds. You see the SARS people coming out in their full force to pursue petty criminals. I don't think they are set up to pursue petty criminals. Petty criminals should be handled by normal police detectives and the rest of them. In fact, investigation is not part of SARS responsibility. It shouldn't. If it is, then the people that set it up are just never do well. They don't know what they're doing. Because if you go to other advanced countries where things are working, they have heavily armed police officers, but you don't see them patrolling on the street, carrying guns up and down, as if to say we are in the war zone. They only come when there is emergency, when there is need for them. And in fact, that was exactly why Mopo was set up in the first place. But because, Nigeria is a place where somebody come up and just starts setting up something, and it starts taking the order of the day. That was exactly why Mopo was set up. When I was growing up as a child, seeing Mopo or army people is something you see once in a while. It's not something that you see every day on the street. Okay, heavily armed police officers is not something you see every day. Now, yes, there are reasonable high insecurity in Nigeria, which requires constant rapid response by these heavily armed security personnel. But seeing them, you see SARS people going after young people. If you do dreadlock, they start abusing you. If you are going on the street as a young guy with an expensive phone, they start harassing you. When did SARS become the moral instructors of Nigerians? When did SARS become the moral guidance of Nigerians? They were set up to strictly respond to heavily armed, I repeat, heavily armed criminals. And there is an emergency for them to come and intervene. They are not there for investigation. Investigating security personnel have their own duty. Okay? And I don't see the reason why Nigerians will continue to die in the hands of these people. And young people are that. You see someone that is an entertainer with dreadlock, with pierced ear, and all of that, they will start harassing you, possibly shoot you to death. People without arms. And most of these killings happen when the person that in question is not even armed at all. Much more of being heavily armed. There is no confrontation. There is no what they call there's this language they normally use it when they say they had a gun duel with criminals. Just unarmed civilians. Even if you're suspecting the person, as long as you've brought the person into custody, as long as the person is already arrested, as long as the person is not armed, why kill the person? For what reason? And you see why these politicians have not done anything about this is because their children have not possibly been killed. Why would they? How can they? When their children are abroad, those here are going around with heavily security by themselves. They have their own private security. So in Nigeria, it is to you and to your God. Just like in the animal jungle, where there is no rule. It is either you get eaten or you eat others. So this is so uncalled for. And I must say this, Nigerian people must unite against this madness. Don't say it doesn't concern you. It concerns everybody. Everybody, people from the east, west, north, and south have been affected by this. And it is only the ordinary people that fall victim of these incessant killings. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate to die in the hands of those who are saddled with the responsibility of protecting your lives. For what? For what? Now, it is high time the Nigerian security or the Nigerian security apparatus, or whatever you call it, whether the police, army, and the rest, should look into this. And why this thing will continue, or why this thing will go unabated, why this continuous killing? We've not seen anybody that have been prosecuted, jailed, and sentenced for this killing. At the end of the day, they cover it up. At the end of the day, they die it down. Why? Because those at the office, there are people, the guys at the office are benefiting from the exploitation because they go to any length to okay, now you see SARS people doing the work of EFCC, trying to search your phone to know whether you are a Yahoo boy. What you consign SARS people with Yahoo? What you consign SARS people with Yahoo boys? What you consign them? But because they know that they can harass anybody and exploit huge amount of money and make a return to the office. That is why when they kill people, they get covered up. That is why they can go out with all manner of brutality and nothing happens. But if the people in government that so-called represents you have your aspiration, have your they would have, all these years this thing have been happening, come up with a legislation to end this madness. They were the ones that said kidnappers should be sentenced, not even sentenced to death, to be killed. Some really. They made law quickly. Death sentence for kidnapping. Fine, fantastic. No death sentence for those who are killing innocent Nigerians. No death sentence to those who are stealing public fund. It's unfortunate. Now you now see how bad Nigeria. And when I tell you that Nigerians are victim of Nigeria, you can agree with me. I don't want to keep this thing too long. I'm about going on a radio campaign to tell the people the powers they have when they are united. Join me from 11 a.m. this morning till 12 noon as I bring it to you. Join me on this platform. I'll be going live and as well on radio at Odenibo FM 99.1. All right, you can share this video and pitch a time with us. I'm signing out. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new on this platform. You're welcome on board. This is BVI Channel 1, and I still remain as Lieutenant Peters, the voice of the people, the voice of God, and the voice of our ancestors. Stay safe. Goodbye.